On the Sit on Floxa TV.
It's a beautiful day in the city of Abuja. My name is Heritage Oyedepo, and we are live on Flux ITV. Today is another edition for On the Seat on Flux ITV. Today I have someone special who is rooted and grounded in politics. The chieftain of Labour Party, Dr. Tanko Yunusa. Good day, sir.
How are you doing? Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, sir.
Mm.
How are you doing today, sir?
Not bad.
All right, sir. Okay, quickly, can you please run me through how you developed an interest in politics, sir?
Okay. I grew up in Lagos, particularly in a particular area called Idiaraba in the Mushin local government.
Okay.
In that area, most of us there are Hausa dominated, Hausa Fulani dominated area. So we have a lot of people from the downtrodden who are basically being looked at those who have not been educationally advantaged. Okay? So, but in the other side of the area, Sulu, you have people who are on the middle class. So you see the children go to school and all that well grounded. So, sometimes when we move around from this particular age, I find it interesting the way I see other children looking good and all. So I developed interest into education as my kind of care to what I want to become in life. And when I got into secondary school, primary school, secondary school, and all, then I met Chief Ganifa Wayini. Chief Ganifa Wayini is somebody who believes in the general education of the young child, especially children from a downtrodden. Even in his death, he's still financing children from indigents. So that kind of attitude attracted me to Chief Ganifa Wayini. And then I later on became one of his deputy national chairman. I became secretary of his party. And then the list is endless. So my interest in politics actually started with the issue of education and eradication of the Almajiri system in our society.
Okay. Okay, that's nice, sir.
Mm.
I could remember that you're very close to President Muhammad Buhari and you facilitated the meeting of which he had with the late Chief Ganifa. Even to ask, what can you say about the present government we have an APC administration?
Well, interestingly, while we did what we did in those times, we felt that Muhammadu Buhari represents the tendency of people, somebody who loves the Nigerian people, who is working very hard to ensure the Nigerian people are okay, especially the downtrodden. So some of us facilitated some of the groundwork. I remember we had a meeting of the National Congress Party in my house in Kaduna, where we invited Femi Falana, Dr. Saidi Obayohana. The National Working Committee of the party met actually in my house. And from there, we went to meet Muhammad Buhari, trying to shower our support. We started building that particular blocks of people who will have different opinion of Buhari in the South. Because at the time, they are calling me a military dictator who doesn't believe in democracy. So we are part of the people who down that particular tension. And then eventually, he became the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But we cannot say that we are happy with the outcome of what that particular government became. Because what we stood for was for the interest of the Nigerian people, getting them out of poverty level, making sure that they were well educated, secured as far as their lives and property is concerned, and then to have a society that is corrupt free, with also the issue of international respect for Nigeria. Unfortunately, all of these things we didn't get. Probably the problem was that most of us that really worked in that particular circle, most of us are human rights activists. We were expecting that somebody like Balarabo Musa, people like Femi Falana, some other people would have formed, and Dr. Sadio Obayohana would have formed some of the nucleus of that particular government. But I believe at the time when Buhari now changed from having most of these people around him, almost made him to lose, not almost made him to lose track of what was the initial support that was given to him. So, as far as the APC government is concerned, quite honestly, they have disappointed a lot of people as regard to what was expected of them.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I can remember you were once the presidential candidate for the National Conscience Party and also the national chairman. Why did you have to move? Why did the motive change? And why you have to jettison your ambition to move to Labour Party?
Well, as we speak, I am still the national chairman of the National Conscience Party. What we did was that we have an issue with INEC. INEC decided to deregister the NCP because of certain reasons that the court is within the law and all. But we challenged that particular position formed in the court, and we are presently heading towards an appeal case. But you see, in politics, you cannot be stagnant. You need to go along with your friends and families who believe in the same ideology like ours. It may interest you to know that the Labour Party has been a kind of a serving secretariat for Nigerian political movement that want to change the status quo from the shackle of inefficiency and ineffectiveness, bringing it back into the life of mainstream political party. So, for the National Conscience Party, we have been working together with the Labour Party for a very long time. In fact, I remember meetings with Fem Falana and the rest of them. We usually meet under the leadership of Dan Wanyan, who was the first chairman of the Labour Party, then followed by A.A. Salam. Then now we have Barrister Abure. So our fraternity is like a partnership of working together to get Nigeria out of the situation. So it is not a mirage for you to see me working very closely with the Labour Party. We have been doing so for the past 3 decades.
Okay, that's beautiful, sir. Okay, let me ask, we are all aware that Peter Obi has the largest supporters and fans on social media. And how do you intend to convert those followers to voters? Because we all know that votes are not won on social media.
Well, luckily for us, as we move on in our dynasty of political space, we were able to form a group called the National Consultative Front. The National Consultative Front was led by Professor Pat Utomi and Gadi Umar Napa, Obiese Kwesile, Odisa Abakoba, well-meaning Nigerians who decided to work together to get the right mix to get Nigeria out of the mood. That particular group, with Wale Okoni as the Director General, happened to organize meetings close to about 16 political parties were being held into a meeting. And I happened to be part of the secretariat of that particular meeting. But we were searching for a political party that would form the block of what we are interested in. Eventually, we almost closed up on ADC, but there was a slight misunderstanding. Thank God that we have Labour Party with Julius Aburi and Emmanuel Ibrahim Farouk, who decided that, look, we need a platform. So let's calm down with all the differences that we have. And the Labour movement, the Nigerian Labour Congress, led by Comrade Ayuba Waba, and then the Trade Union Congress, led by Olale Kadri. All of these groups now believe that, look, we need to come together and revive a new movement that will champion the cause that all of us are aspiring for. And that is why on the 22nd of May 2022, the National Consultative Front adopted Labour Party as our vehicle to challenge for power in Nigeria. Eventually, on the 27th of that 2022, comrade, I'll call him comrade now, Peter Obi, with his roaring support, also joined the Labour Party. So there's a divine intervention in all of this. So on regard to the question of how do we transfer this particular momentum into winning strength, you see, there's a triangle of faith that we have. This triangle of faith has the Obi movement on top. You have the Labour Party by the left-hand side. You have the movement, the National Consultative Front, and all other support groups coming on the other side. Now, truth be said, Nothing can be done without the Labour Party technically, because they are the one that will push in the name and all of those stuff. But here, the two angles give full support to the Labour Party so that we can be able to have a statutory leadership, statutory membership, statutory voters that will be able to vote for the head of the Triangle of Faith, which is now Peter Gregory Obi. What do? We decided that we are going to leverage heavily on the support groups to give support to the Labour Party so that they can be able to push all of this into perspective. As we speak today, we have 176,845 polling units across the Federal Republic of Nigeria, length and breadth of 774 local government. We are building our sales group along that polling unit. And we're telling all our supporters, every obedient, to go back to all of that particular polling unit, identify yourself with your polling units. We call it Operation Identify Yourself with Polling Units. Go to that polling unit, get membership of people. Every person there, we need nothing less than 150 persons registered. And by the time you finish your calculation, you will see that we ended up with about 26 million voters, which of course would have doubled the number of which Buhari won election in 2019.
All right, sir. Okay. Labour Party is not financially buoyant
Exactly.
as the two major parties we know in Nigeria. So who is bankrolling these mass movements?
You see, the Labour Party has its mantra, is social democratic party. It's a social democracy. Social democracy means it is driven by the people, because it finds its roots within the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Nigerian Trade Union Congress. So people are financing and supporting the activities of the Labour Party. You may be amazed to know that 1,000 per each person, calculated up to about 10 million or 100 million persons. It is a humongous sum of money, and that exactly we are leveraging on. But don't also forget that there are forms being sold by people who are able to buy, and all of the support groups are coming in with support. And interestingly, what really divides us with any other political party is that while other parties are mobilizing people, paying them money to support them using the stolen wealth, if I'm permitted to say so, we, the Labour Party, is people that are sponsoring us. So that's to tell you that the people are interested in whatever we are doing. As we speak, we have support group, intellectual support group, we have finance support group, we have mobilization support group, we have youth mobilization support group, we have women's support group. So the support group is huge. We are having it all over the Federal Republic of Nigeria, including international communities.
All right. Nigerians are crying out for change. We want something different because the economy is a bit critical right now. What is different? What is Labour Party bringing to the table?
The Labour Party have a manifesto. The manifesto of the Labour Party contains some of these 5 items that I'm going to try and mention. Number one, it is interested in creation of jobs. Jobs creation. That way, we now have a change from consumption to production. We want to open up this space in terms of agricultural development and other jobs that Nigerians can be able to produce things for themselves. If you remember, as we picked them today, most of the Nigerian airplanes, when they come with the cargo ship, they go back outside this particular country empty. But we want to measure on that particular to make sure that such thing does not happen. Nigerian youth are going to be put to a productive use. Once they are engaged, the economy completely changes instantly. The naira to dollar will drop almost instantly because we are selling things and then we are no more consuming that much. So that way, dignity in labor will be returned to the Nigerian people. Thirdly, we want to engage in education because education is key. Because if you do not educate the younger ones, they will not be able to know exactly how to learn or produce something new, or even go into a research level where they can be creative on their own. Fourthly, we want to make sure that the issue of economic lower trodden has been changed, creating a new Nigeria that has a different names and different feeling. Fifth, we want to talk about the issue of insecurity. We want to have an inclusive government. coming from all the local government and all the world, so that people will be interested in governance. Once they are interested and they are carried along in governance, they will not feel that they are being detached. And so therefore they will be the first security officer in their domain. These are some of the things that Peter Obi will be able to do. Coming from his past experience in Anambra. Remember in 2006 when he took over office as the first executive governor of the state, the first thing he did was to secure his environment, partnering with the Nigerian police, making sure that he provided them with vehicles and all of the things that they need. He went ahead to make sure that he built secretariat to make sure that people are comfortably given opportunity to perform their duty in the civil service. And that synergized with the person. He built hospitals at this particular time. Then, interestingly also, he went ahead to make sure that he engaged himself direct contact with captains of classrooms of each of the secondary school in Anambra, so that way, if they are having any issue, they can talk to the governor directly. This was done during them. At the end of it all, he left 75 billion naira in the coffers of the Anambra state government. So you can see practically he has been able to put all of this in order. Let me not forget, he also built 900 kilometers roads across Anambra, connecting with the people in the rural areas. These are practical examples of somebody who has been in a position of power and he has been able to exemplify it to the interest of the people.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Alright, so if I could ask, we have always had two presidential history candidates winning two parties. And what are the strategies put in place to bring in another party? Because history has always told us we have just two different parties winning the presidential post in Nigeria.
The strategy is what I already explained earlier. What we did was that we noticed that the two political parties, like they are sesame twins, meaning that if you become a member of that party in the morning, one party in the morning, you could end up at the evening belonging to the same another party, and you would say the same story. The same people, the same story. Yes, some people may want to take me up and say, yes, Peter Obi too was a PDP member. I agree. But the fact is that he came with a different. He was able to identify that this particular one party that he had already belonged to, not given the opportunity to really perform what he wants to do for the Nigerian people. So therefore, he went for a political party that is ideologically based, that have a document of action that can be able to transform Nigeria from a consumption nation to a production nation. These are documents that are enshrined in the document of the Labour Party. You know, it is interesting. Most of the visits that Peter Obi has done, he visited the TUC, the TUC or Trade Union Congress. He visited the leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress. And when he visited them, the Nigerian Labour Congress had their own charter of demand that's supposed to be a guiding principle. That particular charter of demand was given to Peter Obi as what the demands of the Nigerian Labour Congress is. So also the Trade Union Congress, they had their national working document called the Workers' Analysis for Transformation of Nigeria. And they gave it also to Peter Obi. So all of these documents are going to be collapsed together to give us a guiding work that we do. And I know most of the political parties don't have something like that.
Okay. So are you confident enough to say Peter Obi will emerge as the president of Nigeria in 2023?
By God's willing, and with the humongous support which we are very holding gratitude to the Nigerian youth for giving us all of this particular humongous support, we are sure that this is the best time and Nigerians have taken the best situation. The Nigerian state has a new driver at the center of leadership, and that driver has a deputy. The driver has an assistant driver. And that assistant driver is Deputy Baba Ahmed, and the head driver is Peter Obi, taking us to the Asola and taking Nigeria back to the Nigerian people.
Okay, sir. At large, what would you tell Nigerians out there from the Labour Party?
Well, the Labour Party, as I said earlier on, is a social democrat political party, meaning that they have an opportunity to rise high beyond their own imagination, and they are all going to be inclusive in governance of their own country. The Labour Party is represented in its logo, Mama, Papa, Pikin. If you are a young person from the age of 18 and above, you are going to say Pikin, Mama, and Papa. And so also announce with Mama, Papa, and Pikin. So you see, it represented family values. It represented family interests. Unlike other political parties that have effigies or brooms or umbrella and all. Look, when you are hungry, who do you look for to give you food? Your mother or your father. If you are aided as a mother or a father, when you look up to your son to give you food. So that means that it is a family value that take care of the family when they are growing, when they are at their peak, and when they are listening. And that's what Labour Party does.
Alright, thank you so much, sir. Lastly, what's your recommendation about Fox TV?
Well, I can see it's a young television, growing very fast, and trying to reach out to a lot of people. So what I would rather suggest is that when you keep on doing what you are doing, get information from those who they don't think they are important. Like the way you are talking to us now. Many people wouldn't even bring their own studio hand. So for us to say kudos to your own young imagination. And I guess that is the reason why virtually you two are moving, because you are behaving like an obedient child, hoping to grow and become great in the future. Mm.
All right, thank you so much for your time.
Mm.
Thank you so much, everyone. Join me on another time on this seat with Flux ITV. I remain your host, Heritage Oyedepo.
On the Sit on Floxer TV.